Hello humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. Bioware. The balls to call themselves diverse. In some cases, the lack of them, right? Now let's ask ourselves a question. Is this the best person for this job? Is this the best human being to direct the Veilguard? No, absolutely not, based on the results, right? And that's all that matters. The customer speaks with dollars, and this game was mediocre. You know, I'm not going to say it's the most terrible game ever, but it ain't good, right? When IGN has to make another video to give it their 7, you know you're in trouble. But what I want to call out here, which is the worst part of the video game industry, is fake diversity. When you think about who plays these video games, right? It doesn't matter what people tell you, the numbers show that about 75 to 85% of people playing video games are heterosexual men, at least for console and PC, by the way. And these companies are deciding not to make games for them. They have this big, great lie out there based on what data? None. Based on Twitter data from the loudest persons and people that work at the office. They come from campuses where they've been indoctrinated with this, type of thinking. And they forget that the customer is king. You're supposed to make games for the customer. And on top of that, they make a terrible game claiming that they're diverse. And nothing can be further from the truth. I've been calling out this now for a couple of years. This diversity is absolutely fake. It doesn't matter. All that's happening is white people are changing genders and coloring their hair. Maybe getting some piercings. But they're still getting the jobs. In 10 years, you're not going to tell me that you couldn't find an Asian American, an African American, a Mexican American, all Americans, by the way. But how about a heterosexual male that's invested in the game of any race that has that talent? Why don't you bring them up through the system? Why aren't you investing in those communities if you really want to be diverse? How come these people aren't getting internships to fall into these positions? People that actually have love for the games. Look at Latin America when they talk about Dragonage in the past systems, right? For the Xbox 360, you're going to find a lot of write-ups. You're going to find a lot of people that work in the industry that love these games. There could have been a lot better choices for anybody to make this game, but they chose this person. Why? Because of identity, politics, and DEI. That's why they chose him. Because obviously he wasn't the best choice for the job. The results prove it, right? It's not my opinion. You're supposed to make a game that you can sell to the most amount of people, and you failed. The game is mediocre. It's mediocre writing, mediocre dialogue, mediocre characters. I mean, it's a disaster. It's a disaster because you put in people that are not interested in the job, right, that they're doing. They're more interested in telling a story from their point of view, right, with their, whatever thoughts that they have in their head, and that's what makes it terrible, right, because the most important part for them is to put out their ideas regardless of the writing, regardless of what the original artist had in mind. That goes all out the window because it's more important to send a message of whatever you want. Now, you can waste all those hundreds of millions of dollars, but the one thing you can't do is say that it's diverse, because at the end of the day, the person that you put in charge is still it's not a minority, right? It's not a woman of color. It's not an Asian man. It's not an Indian man. It's not a Mexican man. No, it's the same old suspects, right? The usual suspects always land there. The same guys that were doing it before now are just getting a makeover, and they're doing it again and hiring their buddies to make it even more of what the customer doesn't want. So if we're paying customers, we speak with our wallets, and customers spoke loudly on this game, absolutely loudly, right? And you can judge a person's work by the results. This game is mediocre And it has nothing to do with the person being transgender. It has everything to do with their talent. It has everything to do with the respect for the franchise. It has everything to do with the corporate structure and how people feel about working there. And guess what? They don't like it. They don't like it very much. But who would? Who would if you're a straight male, right? Which are a lot of people try to get into this industry. You want to do the best job possible, but if you're not going to get promoted because selections are based on gender, and the only way you can get promoted is to change the color of your hair and claim a different sexual identity, who the hell wants to work there? Now, these guys that are turning down, that these companies are turning down, these are the customers, right? These are the guys that grew up with the games. These are the guys that have the most love for the lore. These are the guys that are, more apt to make truer characters for the game, to follow the story, to give people exactly what they want. Whether it's Hollywood or anywhere else, you get these people that know nothing about anything, and they go, well, I just came up with my own thing. We're going to reinvent it. No. When you make a sequel, you don't want to reinvent anything. You want to do more of what made you successful. And in this case, it's not. It's not about making money. It's about sending a message. But it's a different message that they're sending than the one they intended to. The message that you should be getting, that is, everything is still the same. If you're a minority, you don't get a shot. You don't get a shot. You're still second, third in line, right? If you're a black man, you're not even on the list. If you're a white man, you forget it. You're not even in the building. If you're a heterosexual Mexican man, hell no. You're not getting a shot. Now, if you want to change your gender, or if you're of another sexuality other than a straight man, then now your chances are way better. Who the hell wants to work on that? Who the hell wants to support that? I don't, right? And you're seeing customers walk away because we're tired of this crap. And let me tell you something. These elections were important, absolutely important. Because that map right there that's painted all in red, it's all the people that are living paycheck to paycheck, right? That to buy a game, they have to sacrifice. They have to save money in order to purchase a game. You have to earn their dollars, right? And if, they're barely eking out a living and the only source of comfort that they have is their video games, you should at least respect them. If you're going to work on something for 10 years, Jesus Christ, make something half decent. It doesn't have to be a 10. But holy crap, it doesn't have to be a 6. And this right here is absolute fake diversity. And let me tell you, these people are going to pay with their jobs. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.